you can during my presentation. But I'm pretty sure everyone can hear me okay. Hey, team? Perfect. Okay, yeah, my portion of this presentation, guys, is about representation. Representation was by far probably the first thing, first pillar that we decided collectively as a group of BIPOC educators when the Black Teachers Association was formed. Representation was the first and probably one of the most important pillars. So the question that we're working with today is, where do you see yourself represented, and what about your students? Next slide, please. So this presentation is a little bit of an overlap from a presentation I did at McCune University, and it's actually an excerpt from a poem that I wrote for the Alberta Teachers Association in the Black Educators issue, which Sarah was a part of, Galen Wilson was a part of, Rosalind Smith was a part of, Dr. Jennifer Kelly was a part of, Maxine Hackett, and a number of other members from the Black Teachers Association. So that was one of our coming out parties, and I imagine a lot of you here in this presentation had an opportunity to read it. But what I did is put a spin on it and added some Black history, Black excellence, Black joy, and of course some reflection related to the community. Next slide, please. So where do I see myself? I don't see myself in the classroom, but I see myself in the field, on the court. Brothers that can jump high, sisters that can run swiftly, leading in these areas effortlessly. I see myself there. I like seeing myself there, but I'd like to see myself in other places too. Thank you, Sarah. Where do I see myself? Well, the textbooks barely show any of my heroes from my culture, but there's no shortage of European history or legends. My history teacher places pictures of the greatest contributors to history in the classroom. None of their faces are Black, except for one or two people. But does that mean that there are only one or two people from my culture that matter in history? Who knows? Thanks, Sarah. My English teacher talks about the greatest writers, Hemingway, Frost, Shakespeare, Kipling. When I suggest authors that are Black, sometimes they get supported, and this feels good, but other times I cringe when I hear my teacher use the N-word from text selected for a class. It's a double-edged sword. I desire representation, but I don't always want to read about negative experiences related to my community in front of a largely white class and a largely white teacher. Thank you, sir. My school staff is largely white, except for my custodians. I mean, all of my coaches don't look like me. My culinary arts teacher, my dance teacher, my physical education teacher. I really like them and I admire them, but every year I hope that I can see at least one teacher that looks like me. Thanks, Sarah. When I see someone from my culture in the hallways, I acknowledge them. A nod, a high five, a joke, a brief conversation. It feels good to see them before our teachers quickly escort us back to our rooms. When I see someone else that looks like me in class, I feel joy, confidence, and I feel supported. Even if we never speak, I know that they are there and they know that I am here. We see each other and we see each other inside of ourselves. Next, please. Where do I see myself? You know, essentially, when I get in trouble and I have to go to office, all of the admin team at my school don't look like me. I mean, they all went to university. They all probably started out as teachers. They're all probably friends outside of our school, but none of them look like me. Does this mean that I will be treated differently because I don't look like them? I hope not. Thanks, sir. Every police officer I've ever encountered in my life was white. Even as a youth, we're taught that the officers are here to protect us. But as a Black male, as soon as I transition past puberty, am I the person that these officers are protecting others from? Even though I feel like I'm the one that needs the most protection. Thanks, Sarah. Where do I see myself? Well, in pop culture, I see myself as a rapper, a singer, a comedian, a dancer, all things that I enjoy. But how often do they show us as scientists, astronauts, mathematicians, doctors, professors of education and drama and calculus teachers? How often do we see this in real life? Not often and not enough. Thanks, Sarah. Where do I see myself? I see myself at home in my brothers and sisters' facial features, in the traditional cooking that my mom makes, the shows that my dad watches, the magazines that we subscribe to, the clothes that we wear, and the music that we listen to. I see myself there. I see myself a lot there. Thanks, Sarah. Where do I see myself? I see myself in the news as someone they say should have complied when the officers justified the use of lethal force or excessive force. I'm going to pause right there and say rest in peace to Lat Jortuel. I talked to his daughter this morning, and she just asked that we amplify her voice and request for justice for her dad who was murdered 2 weeks ago. I'm going to continue right now. As an inconvenience to a shopkeeper, a person accused of theft, even when my dad is in the store with me, defending me. I see myself as Trayvon Martin walking home from basketball practice, my hoodie on and my music playing loudly, followed by shadowy figures who think I am not in the right neighborhood, even though this is my neighborhood. Thank you, sir. Where do I see myself? In Breonna Taylor's shoes. Home invasion, but by those who are supposed to serve and protect. What did she do wrong? Was her life not worth an explanation? Her family's grief and a hashtag and some money, but no justice. I see myself grieving for her, even though she wasn't my sister. She still feels like my sister, and I miss her. Thanks, sir. Where do I see myself? I see myself at school. As the only Black teacher on my staff, well, now we have 2 or 3, asking questions way above my pay grade, but asking them regardless. Being told that I am being helped, even though I don't feel like I'm being helped. I don't feel like we are being helped. Requesting for supports for kids that look like me. Being told that our group has ties to terrorism from people who should know better. Looking into the youth's eyes, knowing how badly they desire change. Them looking at me, wondering if I can be the one who will fight for them because their voices are continually silenced by adults around them, except for allies and except for me. Thank you, sir. Where do I see myself? I see myself becoming more than a teacher. I see myself giving more of my time, more of my energy, more of my life, trying my best to balance between being a dad to my own kids and a mentor to the youth in the community, finding others that believe in this dream of more equitable society, making mistakes, trying to learn from them, waking up every day, looking at myself in the mirror, making sure that I'm the same person who sees himself doing this work for our community. That's my portion. I had more to say, but what I'd really like to say at this point is please support all families that are going through police brutality. Please support all teachers requesting representation. And if you're an ally in this session, thank you and God bless you for being here.